Good morning and welcome to the final day of the National Intercollegiate Championships for Racquetball presented by Team Dovetail. This is Tim Jack,
Bryce Palmer,
representing BYU here, and we are reffing the third and fourth place match at men's number 6 singles.
Yeah, we've got a great lineup this morning. The names just came off the screen. We got Brett and Noel. Brett's coming from BYU, a fellow teammate of ours, and Noel is playing for Liberty University.
It's interesting, they're both in their respective grad programs. Brett is in his final year of his accounting program. He was planning to graduate, but due to pandemic and various reasons, there was a freezing hire, and he chose to go back to school. Tried out for the racquetball team, made it. This is his first and final year on this team, so he's thrilled to be here playing in this third, fourth match.
Amazing background, wonderful story. We're glad to have him here. Noel, similar experience actually. He's a PhD student. This will also be his first and final year, and here we are playing for third place.
So here we are, the battle of the grads.
Great start here for Noel. Ace serve.
Oh, that's a good pick up there by Bryce. It's a beautiful serve. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think there's a little bit of nerves here first game of the day. So everyone's still waking up. Not sure that's a shot he was hoping for, but Brett's going for the lob serve. So Bryce, when would you say is a smart move to go for the drive service, the lob serve?
You know, it's true. It's a little bit of an early morning start here, but I feel like if it was me in there, I probably would have went straight to the drive serve. If I'm feeling a little groggy and a little slow this morning, I'm sure my opponent is as well. Catch him off guard with an ace, a couple of aces off some drive serves might be a good way to wake him up in the morning.
That's a good point. I find the drive serve is very, very hit and miss. If your opponent can't quite return it, the drive serve is an excellent way to get 3 points. The only danger is it sets your opponent up for a beautiful setup if you're not careful. That's a good pinch there by Noel. Ties it up 2-2. Beautiful shot by Brett, puts him back in the service box. You can see both these players, again, still waking up, but both very passionate players, lots of energy. Very excited to be here. I think this will be really a matter of inches on hitting those lines, hitting those pinches. It's going to be a tight one.
There's one of those great drive serves by Brett. We'll see if he can get another ace off of it.
So listen to you, Bryce. You decided to start drive serving.
That's that telepathic teammate communication. Well, Tim, what's your thoughts been for this year's Collegiate National Championships?
It has been a beautiful tournament so far. These courts are fabulous. They're very well done. The glass, even though the double glass wall can be very difficult to see, they're somewhat shaded, so it's easier to see. Only complaint, the courts are so hot in there. It gets very, very warm for a match that's already very competitive. Players are coming off very, very wet. But the play has been excellent. The quality of the players, the quality of the sportsmanship I've seen. It's been a very excellent tournament. I'm excited to see how it turns out today. Ooh, couldn't quite get that pinch to roll. It was a smart shot, but couldn't quite land it. This puts Noah back in the service box. He needed that. Brett was starting to come away a little bit. It's a good serve. Put Brett on the defensive, but he was able to hit a good defensive shot. We're back at neutral. Brett has a chance to attack. Couldn't quite put it away, but good defensive shot by Noel. Oh, couldn't quite put it away. Those around the world are tough. They can bounce all over the place. It's hard to know exactly where they're going to come down.
especially with these glass side walls here. When it comes back around and dinks off that glass wall.
Honestly, sometimes feels like I just have to close my eyes and swing at some point.
Set up here. Good hit.
I'm sure looked like Brett was aiming for that line. Couldn't quite hit it, but it went right at the body of Noel, and he didn't have quite enough time to react. That can be a tough situation to be in, especially when you're looking forward, the ball's coming fast. It's difficult to see. So couldn't quite land, just hit the back wall. That's a second serve.
Ooh.
Brett's asking for replay. He's going to get it. Looks like he couldn't quite feel comfortable swinging his racket the way he wanted, going to that back wall. Reserve 5-2. Advantage definitely in Brett's favor at the moment. He seems to have a little bit of momentum. We definitely can't count Noel out. You can tell he's got the potential to make this quite the match. There's another around the world, as we talked about before.
Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he lost it on the back glass. 6-2 for Brett's BYU. For BYU's Brett.
Good little run here from Brett, getting some points up early on. Nice pinch.
That's a beautiful pinch. That is the shot he's looking for. Looks like we've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Jessica Parrilla, and I play with Gearbox. A great athlete is about discipline, effort, constance, and before to be a great athlete, you have to be a great person. One of my future goals is be on the top 3 in the professional tour again. I did it once, and I think I can go back there. I enjoy the passion of the game. I enjoy the passion of the life, of everything. And I always think like love is the first thing in everything. The things I think, the things I say, and the things I do are on the same line. And enjoy, because we don't know how long we're gonna be here. So enjoy and give love to others as much as we can.
All right, we're back. Brett serving an 8-2. It's a good Z serve. It's the unique thing about racquetball is the various serves you can do. You know, in tennis, in pickleball, you add a lot of the variety to your shot by adding spin to the ball, right? You can slice it to slow it down, bring it down. You can add topspin so you can hit it harder without hitting it out. Very similar in pickleball. In racquetball, you don't add spin to the ball. Instead, you let the walls add the spin for you. So depending on the combination of walls you hit, it will add a variety of different spins. And so the Z serve is a perfect example of that, where if you hit a hard Z, it will cut hard off the back wall and come straight across the back glass. And all that spin is generated by hitting that front wall, side wall, side wall. So it's one of the most unique factors about racquetball, playing in that box.
Brett was able to play through the timeout here. Still kind of going on a run streak here. Another great pinch from him.
Looks like it came off that side wall, but Noah wasn't quite ready to pick that up. So that's another point for Brett.
Z serve set up. Not quite the angle he's looking for there.
It's a good shot by Noel. Kind of died in that back corner. It's hard to pick up. So he's back in the service box. He really needs this momentum here. It's far from over at this point, but all the momentum is in Brett's favor.
Tim, as a player, if you're ever in this position, down two in double digits, what's going through your mind as a player?
Well, first off, you need to find a strategy, right? If whatever you're doing is not working, clearly, So you need to find a strategy, talk to your coach, take a timeout, make sure you know what you're doing there. After that, it's all dependent on thinking of that next point. These guys are in a high stakes match here. It's the third, fourth place match. This is their last match for both of them of their collegiate career. So the tensions are high, adrenaline's pumping. It's easy to lose your form, easy to get distracted. So you just got to focus on each next individual point and focus on one thing, whether it be keeping low, hitting a clean line, having a good backswing. Just focus on one thing that help you keep your shot clear, keep your shot from coming off the sidewall. So that's what Noel really needs to do at the moment, is clean up those lines, focus on one point at a time.
I don't know if you'd say the same thing, but even at the 11, being on the 11 side, I'd be trying to do the same thing. It's all about that next point, making sure I'm hitting my best shot possible each rally.
It's true, it's so easy to lose that momentum. You get cocky for a moment, you think you've got it in the bag, and then all of a sudden your opponent ties it up, pulls ahead, and it's over. So I totally agree. It's interesting. So far this tournament has been a very injury-free event, which we're grateful for. We've had a couple injuries, one torn Achilles tendon, the biggest injury so far. They was pulled off in a wheelchair, unfortunately. Brett is also dealing with minor injury. He took a racket to the face yesterday. If you look at his lip, you'll see it's nice and blue inside there. So he's playing through a little bit of pain here, but he seems to be managing very well, hitting very good shots. A lot of defensive shots from Noel here. I think he's lost a little bit of confidence in his shot. Hitting a lot of sealing balls a lot around the worlds. He's in the service box thanks to a skip from Brett, but if he wants to change his momentum, he's really got to gain that confidence back and put Brett on the defensive. What do you think? What would be a good way for Noel to change that momentum?
I agree. I think it starts a lot with how he's going to return these serves. He's got to get Brett out of the middle and make it a tough shot for him. That can be hard to do if Brett chooses to continue to drive serve. Looks like we're going to get a high lob Z here, though. Another skip from Brett.
It's unfortunate. He had the setup there in the front court. It's exactly what he wanted. Just couldn't quite put it away.
Screenplay there. You know, I think this is exactly what we're talking about. Even when you're up, it's important to make sure that you're staying in that mindset. Each point really matters, and as you get up, you might get a little confident, start shooting a little differently, or not paying as much of attention, or you lose a little bit of focus, and some of these balls will start skipping a little bit more if you're not careful.
Yep, that was an unfortunate shot for Noel. He had the whole court available. Brett was up in the front right corner. But fortunately, Noel couldn't quite put it down. Put it a little bit too far down as a skip.
See how Brett handles this. Good hands.
That was a smart shot. And that is game one. Goes to Brett. After the break, we'll come back and see how game two... Oh. I apologize. It looks like that's only 14. We got one more point before that game one.
Good service from Brett. Set up.
Good hands there.
Ooh.
And there we go. That would be the game. Good job, Brett. All right, welcome back to game 2. Brett pulled the first game out quite handily, 15-3, and he's serving here to start the second. So Noel needs to see if he can find a strategy to just take away that momentum that Brett's garnered. It's a good get there by Brett. Sets Noel up though, and he's able to put it down. That's exactly what Noel needed to do to start that game. Get Brett out of the service box, get himself in there, hopefully rattle off a couple of points to start this second game. Right, we're in here. It says we're in the gold number 6 match. So what does that mean? What does that mean to be in that gold number 6 bronze match?
Yeah, so every team, every college that participates in the national tournament can bring up to 6 players to play for points. Every team will compete within itself to decide, where do people land within their team, 1 through 6, and then all the ones will play each other from every school. So if you only bring 1 player, then you bring a 1. And then if you bring more, all the 2s will play the 2s, 3s plays 3s, and then all the way through down into the 6s. So this year, sounds like we have about 7 schools that have brought a full men's team to play some singles. And Brett and Noel fall into that category, and now they're playing for the 3rd place.
Exactly. And if in order to be in that gold division, you got to win through to the semi-finals. So these players each won their quarterfinal match and were able to make it to the semi-finals, which automatically put them into that gold division. If they were to lose that quarterfinal division, they would fall into a different category, a red match, which would be much fewer points for their team. So it's a big deal if they were able to make it to that gold division, playing this 3rd, 5th match.
I didn't play in high school, but I learned this morning that in the high school tournaments, they can bring an unlimited number of 6s to play for their team.
That would definitely change the dynamic here. Instead of 7 players playing for that 6th division, imagine 124 players. That's what it would be like in that high school division. Now that would change the game.
I think that would change the whole feel of the tournament. I mean, we've got a lot of great players here today, but I mean, that high school, 124 number 6 players coming in, people just excited about racquetball. What a fun thing to experience.
So you're hoping that some of those 124 people will be able to jump in and compete next year at the collegiate tournament. We could use that extra boost of people, get some of that new fresh excitement into the tournament. Looks like both these players struggling to get the ball out of the middle. Oh, there we go. Brett was able to get it down that right side line. That's what we really need to see, is those clean lines instead of clipping the side wall or clipping the back wall. Got to hit those clean lines.
Good put down by Brett.
Beautiful shot. It's really admirable to see both these players. This is their first year playing competitive racquetball. And they've already risen to such a high level, being able to compete at this collegiate level. It's a beautiful thing to see. So Bryce, what do you think the secret is to their quick rise? What's the secret to being able to improve in their sport so quickly?
Yeah, actually, my first year I played collegiately, I landed in this same bracket. I felt like for me there was a big transition between playing leisurely with friends or in a class and spending time on the court just drilling, just hitting those down the lines on a more consistent basis, getting more comfortable with where the ball is moving. I feel like drilling made a big difference for me in moving from that leisure into more competitive style play and able to rise to a challenge by coming to a collegiate tournament.
That's a very good point. That's where that separation comes in. Those people who are willing to drill, spend that time in the box, practicing their shots, practicing those down the lines, clean down the lines, cross courts. pinches, that's where it really comes down to being able to improve and become the player you want to be able to come and compete at this collegiate level.
And my coaches and the teammates were so important in that transition for me, because you got to know where to start on some of those things and have somebody that's willing to kind of point out a little bit of a weakness and show you a drill that you can use to, on your own time, to put in some effort to improve on those weaknesses.
That's true. Everything starts with a good coach.
It really does.
So Brett is really controlling this match so far. There's another setup, and Brett's able to put it down. Looks like Noel's feeling a little bit defeated here. He really needs to find some energy, find some drive. He's giving Brett a lot of setups in that front court.
Good around the world defensive shot there.
That's exactly what he needs. He needs to get Brett out of that center court. He needs to get him shooting from 35 feet instead of 20 feet and 15 feet like he's been doing. So just settle down, hit lower, relax. That's what Noel needs. It's a good line by Brett. A lot of momentum, a lot of good shots from Brett. It's good to see. Hoping he can keep that momentum up for just a few more points. Pull away this third place match.
Timeout from Noel.
And we will be back after this timeout.
All right, we're back. The timeout's still wrapping up here. Noel's about to get back in the court, and we'll continue on our way. Second game, Brett took the first game and is currently up 11-0. Momentum is all his at this point. We'll see if Noel's timeout can can break that up.
Well, there's a skip from Brett. We haven't seen a lot of those this second game. He's been playing a very clean game so far. That'll put Noel back in the service box. See if he can get on board here. There's another skip, 2 in a row. And so we are on the board for Noel. See if Brett just wants to shake those off, shake the skips off, and get back to his clean game that he's been playing up to this point. It's a beautiful shot there by Noel. He needs that backcourt shot. He needs the ball back in that 35 feet range so that Brett isn't setting up for any of his shots.
What a great use of a timeout by Noel. It looks like it offset Brett a little bit here. We'll see if he can get back in that zone that he was in before. A little hold up here.
Good hands there by Noel. It's a tough shot to pick up. Now there we go. That's exactly what Brett needed. He needed to make sure he can keep that momentum. He needs to finish strong. Can't let Noel feel like he's back in the match. That was a very beautiful shot by Brett. It was a screen serve. Looks like they're not going to call it. Playing through it. Good shot. Good pickup there.
Another good shot by Brett.
It's unfortunate. No, I wasn't quite ready for that pace that Brett put on there. He was there, but couldn't quite get a racket down to where he needed to be. Yeah, this is an interesting thing about this collegiate tournament. You're playing people you're not used to playing. People hit a lot harder than you're used to, which can be very difficult to get used to. It can be difficult to play against someone who's hitting harder than you're used to. What has been a successful strategy for you, Bryce, in adjusting to the higher pace that you see it here at Nationals?
You know, before you get in a court for one of these games, I mean, it's fun. It's competition. That adrenaline starts running a little bit, and I feel like it helps a lot because even though the ball is moving faster, sometimes that adrenaline, if you can hone it down a little bit, it really helps in managing and still feeling like you can move enough to get to where you need to be. Just that little edge there that you get from the excitement of being here.
It's true. Adrenaline can be your best friend or your worst enemy here in this tournament. If you can use that adrenaline to control yourself, give yourself the energy to get to the balls, energy to keep staying low even when you're tired, keep using your legs, twisting your waist, it can be a beautiful thing. You can bring out your best play. Unfortunately, oftentimes adrenaline also forces us to hit harder than we're used to, hit shots that we're not comfortable hitting. You're more likely to injure your shoulder, you're more likely to pop it up off the back wall. Very disadvantageous. So it's all about that controlling the adrenaline that you feel here at this high level of
Yeah, we have a third day of the tournament. We've got a lot of sore arms here.
That is very true. Speaking from experience, I will be taking a nice rest after this tournament.
You will find me at the hotel hot tub tonight.
And I will be with you. That will be a beautiful rest.
All right, Noel is getting some points in here. He's found himself back in the service box.
3-13. It's been a little bit more back and forth here in this after that timeout. Oh, that's exactly what Brett needed to get back in the service box. He's only got 2 more points to take that bronze medal.
These last 2 points, especially the last one, is the hardest of every match. You're on the verge, you're hoping for something good. Need to stay in the game. Noel here is asking for a screenshot, saying he couldn't see where the ball was coming from.
From this perspective, it looked like he had the opportunities, he was just moving in the wrong direction. Looks like the ref agreed with that, and it's going to be a point for Brett.
Long serve.
This is match point.
First match point. First match point.
And as you were saying, it can be often the hardest point to get. We'll see if Brett can control those nerves and put it down. And he does. There we go. That's a beautiful shot. That is match for Brett Barnum of BYU. Takes the bronze medal.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next game.